Welcome Banjul Night Live. Welcome to the Global Hans Mandawar Development Hub, located here in Mandawar, which is just about a few kilometers from Birkama. My name is Momdou Sallah, and my full-time job is to teach at the Montfort University as a senior lecturer in the UK. And my passion is actually being the chair of Global Hands International. And Global Hands International is like a social enterprise in the UK and a charity in the Gambia that is all about building capacities. We have got four main areas of operation. One of them is about publishing. So we publish like books. We've published about 7 books over the last 2 years. We also have got an academic journal called Journal of Critical Science Studies, which is all about challenging counter-orthodoxy and then promoting counter-orthodoxy perspective, critical voices from the South. We also have got Global Hands International. So this Mandawar Development Hub, and the fact that we've been bringing students to the Gambia to actually kind of like engage in experiential learning is another thing that we do. We also got education and public engagement. How do we work with people, kind of like to provoke consciousness and support them to take action? How do we work with them, for example, to help them build their capacities? So from projects to seminars to conferences, we do that kind of thing as well. And the last bit is Global Hands chapters. We've got a chapter in the Gambia called Global Hands Gambia. We've got Global Hands London, Global Hands Leicester, and Global Hands Montfort University. And we are also about to expand into other countries as well.
I'm incredibly honored to be part of this amazing organization geared towards building capacity and honing the capacity of emerging young Gambian leaders and even across the border. That said, however, the Mandawar Development Hub, an initiative of Global Hands and supported by the great people of Mandawar, is a center geared towards unlocking the potentials in the areas of entrepreneurship, research, health, agriculture, and the rest of it, where young people begin to feel an important part of a development process.
Welcome, follow me, let's go around, show you what's happening here. In terms of one of the elements would being international development, it's about how do we build the capacities of other people. Because if you look at inequality, global inequality, if you look at kind of like poverty, underdevelopment, these are issues that we can do something about. So the way we do it is like, one, we build the capacities of people. Like this Mandawar Development Hub is all about building capacity, working with local people, working with people from different parts of the Gambia, but also outside the Gambia to build their capacities to be able to take care of themselves. But we also kind of like work with Montfort University so that our students on different courses can come to the Gambia and engage in a 10-day, 11-day kind of like what we call development school, where they learn about history, around slavery, around colonialism in a practical way, by visiting the museum, by going to James Island, by going to Fort Bullen, and looking at kind of like how history impacts on the current state of affairs. We're in the process of constructing a library, and as you can see, we're using the sustainable compressed bricks. Normally, when you use a bag of cement, you could get about 30-35 bricks out of the bag of cement. You also use a lot more sand and everything else. We're using the compressed bricks, which is more sustainable, where one bag of cement would give you about 200 to 250 bricks. And then you also get the clay from the ground. Instead of going to the beach to mine the sand, you use the clay. So you could use maybe 10 wheelbarrows of clay that you can dig from the ground. You can use one wheelbarrow of sand, and then kind of like one bag of cement, and that can give you the 200 to 250 bricks. And that is more sustainable. But also the bricks, you've been into the room. But I don't know whether you can notice actually it's a lot cooler because of the sustainable bricks that have been used to actually build it. So whilst it's very hot outside, it's maintaining the room temperature, and it's very, very cool inside. And that's part of the technology that we've been able to train young people from the village to use as well and to develop. Where actually it's very hot right now, but when you go into the room, it's kind of like quite cool. and it's almost like because of the mud that is used to manufacture the bricks, it actually insulates the room and quite nicely. So it's better for the environment. It's cooler. It's actually more usable as well. And what we've done is to work with the people of Mandawar, and you've met with Fansu, the young people, and transfer this technology so that they can start building it themselves. And that's what we've used mainly to build the hub in total. Okay, here is the main hall. It's called the DMU Hall. It's been named after Demonfort University. It can take up to 300 people, and it's a multi-purpose hall, as you can see. It can be used for seminars, for conferences, for weddings, for parties, for whatever. But it's a resource that the community can use, but also the whole Gambia can use. It's also hosting a lot of students at the moment from Demonfort University who have been coming here on a regular basis. No, it's quite humbling because there's so many people, who work with me to make things happen. I'm just a small part of it. But, all the universities in the UK were asked to nominate their best lecturers. And then when they nominated their best lecturers, 6 of us were shortlisted. And at the, after the shortlist, we went to an award night, which is like an Oscar event where, all our work was listed. And I think there were over 1,000 people, and they sat down. And then when they listed our work, and probably they called me out and said that I won the award, and probably I had my mouth open just staring and said, "Yeah, are you talking about me?" It was actually quite funny. But no, it's been good, and it's drawn a lot of attention to the projects, and I hope it translates into more positive energy and more support. I mean, that when people, sometimes it's difficult for people to believe in what you do, and people do not come out to support, especially those who should come out. And the award has kind of like almost validated what we do when people couldn't believe and understand what we were trying to do. Now with the award, a lot more people are sitting up and taking notice. So in that way, it's positive, but it doesn't change who we are and what we do, because, we believe that it's our duty, our moral duty, to make a difference. And using academia and practice together to make that difference is good. And if that is recognized as the most innovative piece of practice, then, I'll take that. As you can see here, here's the main dining area, using locally made bamboo kind of like furniture, and it can be used as a dining area as well as like a group workspace that people can use for that purpose. Yeah, it's been tough. I mean, we got this piece of land with like a burnout building in January 2014, and in January 2015 we opened this place already. So we did not get funding. People assume that we got a lot of money, but we actually have not received funding from anybody. All the funding we have raised ourselves. We got some of my students kind of like standing up together with me, selling cakes and drinks and raising the funds, and organizing fund runs, organizing talent shows. Listen, there's so many things going wrong, and there's so many things that need changing that we cannot afford to be bystanders. We cannot afford to get all the money we need to start making things happen. We got to do what we can whilst we can. So for me, it was all about, let's make it happen. With or without funding from anybody, we will do our best and we will make it happen. Okay, like you see here are the Global Hands Gambia members. They're having a meeting, planning what else they're going to be doing. And, because Global Hands has got a chapter called Global Hands Gambia, and these are the young Gambians who've been doing all of this amazing work. So it's great to meet them here. I think just coming here and featuring us, it's quite powerful because you're exposing us to a different audience. But it's just, we're just a bunch of 4, crazy people who woke up one day and said we want to bring a change, and we just did what we could. And it's almost insignificant compared to what needs to be done. But we're doing our little bit. So we welcome people who want to come and join us, who want to kind of like contribute to the whole process. I mean, we've got a website on www.global-hands.co.uk. We're on Facebook, Global Hands Leicester, and we're also on Twitter. So I think people can get in touch with us. We're always willing to get positive energy to join the efforts, and we need all hands on deck in order to build a better Gambia. So please reach out, get in touch. Let's make things happen.
One of many highlights of this trip is delivering the literary workshops. I've had the privilege to deliver the first project at the hub while it's still being built. I've learned so much from the young Gambians they're all positive and they all help each other build their own dreams.
Banjul, big up to Banjul Nightlife. You know, keep doing what you're doing. You're touching lives, you're touching hearts, and it's making a big difference. And you know, I'm just saying that let's not be bystanders. Let's do something. Let's do the little that we can, and hopefully it can make a difference. You know, we have a moral duty to actually to build a better place. You know, that our children will inherit. And whatever little thing that we can do, whether it's contributing £5 every year, whether it's actually having those conversations to bring about change, to provoke consciousness, or whether it's about just coming down here, kind of like, making a difference. But the thing is, like, talk is cheap. You know, let's do things. You know, let's talk. But after we're done talking, let's make things happen. Let's get on the ground. Let's do the little that we can. It can go a long way.
Banjul Night Life.